All right, today we're going to talk about the logistics of what happens during an OIG interview. Now, it seems simple. They ask questions and you answer them. But because it's such a scary moment for our clients, we like to explain to them the logistics of exactly what's going to happen in the room that day. Welcome to OMG, it's the OIG, a serious look at Office of Inspector General Investigations. My name is Sarah Croft. I'm a lawyer here in Washington, D.C., and we help government employees and companies who have government contracts navigate OIG investigations. If you want to get in touch with me, all my contact information is below. Because an OIG interview is such a scary moment, we like to go over all the logistics with our clients ahead of time so they know what it's going to look like in the room that day. So before the interview happens, your lawyer will schedule the interview with the agent and the date and the time and also where the interview will take place. So it can happen at your office, it can happen at the OIG's office, it can happen at your lawyer's office. Generally, it just has to do with where you are going to be most comfortable. When you get to the interview that day, there may be a couple people in the room. So there will always be at least the one OIG agent who's conducting the investigation. For a bigger case, there may be a couple of OIG agents or even a lawyer from the OIG there as well. So there may be a few people in the room when you get there that day. There may be somebody who's focusing on asking questions, somebody else who's taking notes, and so forth. Now, at the beginning of the interview, the OIG agent or agents will show you their badges. And the reason I tell you that is it's a relatively small moment during the interview, but sometimes if you aren't expecting it, it can make it feel very formal. They're passing these badges across their table, and you just look at them, nod your head, and that's it. But it makes it feel very much like a law enforcement interview, which it is. After the agents show their badges, they will generally give you a couple different types of warnings during the interview. They will warn you that giving a false statement or saying anything false during the interview is itself a crime. And it's important to keep that warning in mind throughout the entire investigation. Some agents actually swear in witnesses, like in a courtroom, where you swear to tell the truth during the interview. If you're a government employee, the OIG agents will give you a written warning as well, called either a Calkins or a Garrity warning, depending on the circumstances of the case. Now, it's important for you to understand exactly what that warning is and what you're being told before you sign it that day in the interview. That's something your lawyer can explain to you. The other logistical matter is that a lot of OIG interviews are actually recorded, not by video, but generally by audio recording. So the agent will explain that he has a recording device and that he's recording the video. They may make a transcript after the interview, but just because they make a transcript does not mean that they will give one to you and you're not necessarily entitled to get one after your interview. Once they go through all the logistics, the agents will be ready to start asking you questions. And of course, you'll want to prepare for your OIG interview with the help of your lawyer. Your lawyer will find out ahead of time what topics will be discussed and will also find out how long the interview will last. So we've had interviews last from 30 minutes, a very short interview, to ones that last all day. So you'll want to get some sense ahead of time of how long the interview is going to last before you start it. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it had some information to ease your mind if you are going to be interviewed by the OIG. If you'd like to read more about OIG investigations, I've put links below to our ebook, which is all about OIG investigations, as well as to our blog, which covers OIG investigations and criminal investigations. Thanks very much for watching.